Right, we're going to go for a take then, mate.
Okay. Ahem. 65.
Part 2.
Yes. Is it recording?
It is recording. Let me just get my notes in order because it's a lot of rapes. Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, there we go.
All good?
All good, mate. Not globally, but for now.
Welcome to episode 65, part 2 of All Killa No Filla podcast with me, Rachel Fairburn and Kiri Pritchard-McLean. Just before we start, we'll do our usual disclaimer. This isn't hero worship. We do this podcast because we have mutual interest in serial killers. As long as we are doing this podcast, it stops us from writing to them in prison.
It's been a tough one, this.
I think it has.
This is, do you know, I'm getting the old Fred and Rose feeling from this.
Absolutely. See, the thing is, we recorded, giving away the gamer, we recorded this morning, went about our daily business. Then
I recorded 4 other podcasts,
of which I was one of them. But I sat in a cafe, Marks and Spencer's cafe, actually.
I absolutely love a Marks and Spencer's cafe.
Good quality.
Great quality.
Never as busy as you think.
No, great staff.
Lovely staff. And I went in there and I thought, I'll sit in here and have a baked potato with some chilli. And I, honest to God, I listened to information about this case and I read and I was looking at things and I am tuckered out because of him.
Yeah.
I've got a headache.
Yeah, you asked.
I will be
earlier
glad to be like, get this done and then not have to think about him until. But we think it's going to be a 3-parter, so.
In many ways, we're the real victims in this.
Yes.
So I think what's going to happen is, because it's been much longer than we expected, I think this episode's going to be another over an hour. So you'll get one on Christmas Day, we'll give you one on New Year's Eve, and then we're together again New Year's Eve. So we'll do a short one, which will be the trial and things. Who knows, there might even be a bit more information by then, but it's going to be up to him getting caught.
Yes.
So this is basically all the crimes, which, yeah.
I mean, it is Christmas. It's not. You know what we do? It's not a fun one.
No.
Even though
we always do this, don't we?
Yeah.
We pick someone. We do for
Why
Christmas
can't we pick
shows. John Benet Ramsey and
Marcel
Jimmy
Petiot for Christmas.
A jaunty one.
Yeah, one that's not so bloody recent. Oh.
Right. So this is talking about his crimes as the East Area Rapist.
Yeah.
And as a Golden State Killer. Now, the context that this occurs in, which is sort of the mid-70s up to mid-80s, really, is the last one, is there's a really interesting episode of it about the kind of rape culture in this in the 70s and 80s. Oh my fucking God, I swear to God.
The worst is you're yawning now. We recorded. My stomach was rumbling this morning and it's doing it again now.
Well, it's because we recorded at 9 o'clock, and now we're recording at 6:30 at night.
Aren't we precious little hard-working babies?
Well, I have had a 9 to 5 day of just talking
You
shit.
have, yeah.
Anyway, so lots of the women who were sexually attacked. So there's a huge, what's it called? Bill sheet with all the charges on. It's
Rap sheet.
Rap sheet. Yeah, mate.
A bill sheet would be, and next up, the Rolling Stones.
Oh, is it?
Like a playbill type.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Well, having said that, one of the Rolling Stones should be up for something. Oh, he's fucking got away with that all these years. Who knows?
So his rap sheet is like hugely long. It's like a Boots receipt.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I don't want a voucher for number 7 in this as well.
Yeah, also, it pisses me off about Boots, the chemist, for anyone who doesn't know. It really annoys me when you go in and you've bought makeup and then you get a voucher for like £5 off for the fucking makeup you just bought. And you're just like...
Yeah, but that thing that I need to buy once a year.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it expires in 20 minutes. Yeah, so these are only the people that have come forward at the time where there was sort of evidence. And the culture at the time is like, if you were raped, even in your own home, in your bed, like, you were then damaged goods.
Yeah.
So loads of women didn't come forward about it. And the women that did, as we'll discuss, like, were treated really badly.
Yeah, they were hardly met with the help and support that they should have been given.
Yeah.
There was no sex crime unit at the time. There was barely any counselling for victims of sexual assault or rape or anything like that. There was just nothing.
One of the women who is a victim of him just didn't know what to do after it had happened, and she went to a feminist bookshop who in the back room, because all these rapes were happening, and women were like, can you try and keep us safe, please? And at this feminist bookshop, there was a little call centre set up in the back of it, which was the first like rape crisis phone line. So she worked on there. And then what happens is they would protest, and there was like a mayor who was up for re-election, and they were protesting. They were like, stop allowing us to be raped. And he was like, don't listen to these mad lesbians. He basically dismissed them as lesbians. It's like, like that we ever shouldn't listen to lesbians, firstly.
It's such a poor attitude.
It's such a fucking 12-year-old boy. Like, shut up, you leser. Like, unbelievable defence.
What you do with all your female mates sticking up for women, you fucking lesbian.
Yeah. Probably you what raped them because you're a lesbian.
You're a lesbian.
It's so fucking pathetic.
It's just so ridiculous.
It's horrific.
I mean, you think it's not that long ago either.
It's not that long ago. So the crimes, we can't talk about them all because there's so many. And basically it would basically be going, and then 4 days later there's another rape. Yeah.
So we've sort of grouped them together. But you see, the thing is as well, if we did the information that we have, if we did go through everything, you would just be listening to an entirely depressing list of awful crimes. So we have, we're not picked, not cherry picked. We've sort of, the ones that there's more information on, we've gone for those for giving you the info.
It would be like us reading out a honest version of autobiography.
Oh, there's going to be some beeping. Oh, there's going to be some beeping. You're doing these ones, aren't you?
Yeah, don't worry.
Yes, thank God. Woohoo!
So we start with in June 18th, 1976. So this is in Rancho Cordova, which is that town that he even though he doesn't live in, he keeps going back to where that family is that he was really close to, that military family. So this woman is lying in bed. This is really common MO of his. All of a sudden, she's woken up with a flashlight in her face.
She lives on her own.
She lives on her own. And this man is in her room in a ski mask, and he has a knife, and he jumps her and he rapes her. And that is incredibly common. That was sort of what happened with him. And then prior to that, on February the 5th, 1975, Claude Snelling, he works at the College of Sequoias. I don't know how to say it. Sequoia, yeah, that's it. Now, loads of the attacks...
Like a sequoia tree.
Lovely. I don't know what that is either. Loads of the attacks had happened around that college and with like members of staff from there. So he had a daughter called Elizabeth, or Beth. They were very, very close. So with Beth, she was in the room with her boyfriend. They're sort of like knocking around in there, and they were talking about the Visalia ransacker. Because like everyone's talking about it. It's a really small community. And they were like, oh my God, what if he was here right now? So she walks over to the telly to change the channel.
Oh God.
The curtains are above it, the window. She flings open the curtains like, he could be here right now. Turns around and his face is there at the window.
If that was a scene in like a teen slasher movie, you'd find that unbelievable, wouldn't you?
And she just fucking flings open the window and shouts at him, and he fucks
Frightens him.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I bet he didn't expect her to do that.
No, of course he didn't.
So he shits himself.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, is like there's a few examples of him getting easily sort of startled off with things like a noise, because ultimately he doesn't want to be caught, does he?
No, of course he doesn't.
He comes back. 2:00 in the morning, September 11th, bit of a cursed date that. 1975, he breaks into a house. She's only 16 years old at this point. She's so she woke up and this guy is on top of her in a ski mask. Now, he used to put on this weird voice that people describe as a growl. Yeah. And it's so you couldn't identify his voice.
But everyone knew that he was putting it on. Like quite a masculine kind of gravelly like.
Yeah, so like like a rasp, isn't it? Like through it. And apparently it sounded like he had clenched teeth, like a growl is how it's described. Ugh. And he said what he would say to all of them is like, don't move. If you scream or move, I'm going to stab you to death. Yeah. So then he starts leading her out the house. She's got a blindfold on. And as he's leading her out the house, the blindfold slips. And she's like, I'm going to get fucking killed here. So she like gets his attention, like tugs him and indicates, she's got her eyes closed. And he's like, did you see me? And she's like, shakes her head, no. So he puts the blindfold back on, starts heading out the door, and is like kind of out the house nearly. The dad wakes up at this point. It's like, what's that noise? She like whimpers when she goes past her brother's room, apparently.
Yeah, and that sort of alerts them to like something's wrong.
So she gets up. He gets up, sees the back doors open, and there's a guy leading his daughter out, and is sort of like by the carport. And so
by the what?
carport. Like, I think that's the American word for like your car parking bit, right?
Do you know when you said car? I thought you said carport, and it meant like by the hair or something, and it was a term that I'd never heard before.
What do you mean?
I thought when you said, I think you said,
oh, by the carport, like the head.
Yeah, I thought it was like some old-fashioned term for aggressively dragging someone round by the hair.
No, just parking space.
What a faux pas.
She says, like, she heard his dad come through and they look round, and apparently there's this weird beat where her father is, like, taking in this scene of this guy, and then he just, like, roars and runs at him, and the Golden State Killer just stands there and waits till he gets a bit closer and then just really calmly shoots him twice
in
the chest. And then she, like, crouches down, and he just started punching her in the head with a gun and kicking her, and then he fucked off running. In the meantime, her dad gets up and runs to the door, and she's like, I realise he's trying to head him off. He's been shot twice in the chest, and he's still like after this guy who's assaulting his daughter. So he collapses on his way to the door.
This is like one of the few times that he actually leads the victim out of the house, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess maybe initially he wanted to take them somewhere else, abduct them, but he doesn't really stick to that.
Well, because this is the thing that loads of people talk about, like, what was his end game? Because, like, a lot of time when he had, like, he had a bicycle sometimes. Like, where was he taking her?
Yeah.
Was he taking her to rape her in the yard? Surely that's a...
Or did he have a car with him? Was he...
Well, no, he didn't. He just... Or did he have a car somewhere else that he was leading her to? This is what I can't understand. I'm like, why is he taking her... I think he was especially obsessed with her.
And he kind of,
And it was like, I want to keep that one. But the fact that he came back and, just weird stuff. So, yeah, the poor guy, Claude Snelling, gets taken to hospital and dies on the way to the hospital. And like when she takes off a blindfold, her mother is like hanging, like, is holding onto her father.
Just
and he
the
dies.
utter shock, though, of just being in bed 1 minute and 20 minutes later, not even that, like 5 minutes later, your dad's been shot twice. Some guys tried to abduct you and your dad's died.
I don't know how you would ever get over that.
The shock of that must be immense.
Yeah, well, he fucked off. He had a bicycle, a stolen bike. So it was like, something had been stolen in a burglary. So what's he going to do? Like, make her do a backie and, like, take her away? Like, there's no plan.
That's exactly it. Unless there was just something that nobody knew about. There might have been a car hidden. He might have planned for that eventuality. You don't know. He might have thought, well, I've got a bike there.
Because he did plan.
Yeah.
Like, he was a planner.
Oh, my God. He was planned a lot.
Which is why straight away they were like, there's military or police stuff here. They start to set up stakeouts in the area. And what they would do is like, they released like safety guides. They're like, he's never attacked somewhere with locked doors and windows. And he's never attacked... Is this the one? Actually, I think this is the one where they closed all the doors and windows, and then this is the night where the air conditioning had broken.
Oh,
so they opened the windows,
and
that's why he was in there. It's so dark. So they were like, if you lock your doors and windows, he's never attacked a house with a guard dog. So and then like he does start to do that stuff. So like they can't keep up with him.
Yeah.
But what happened is there was a spree of people suddenly rescuing dogs.
So there's an interview on the podcast with a dog rescuer, a woman who works at the local dog pound, and she's like, these animals are pets, they're not guard dogs, we're here to give people pets, they're not going to keep you safe. And then sales of guns go higher again. I mean, higher than usual, I guess.
Yeah.
But one of the police...
And home security as well.
Home security,
like
one of the
BTK.
police officers says... if you do come across this guy, my advice, shoot to kill.
Well, actually, it was a female. She was one of like two female detectives.
Yes.
It looked much better that a woman was talking about this. Also, there's this mad detail where she had like a wig. That she used to wear because she was like, I just find if you're turning up at 4 o'clock in the morning to someone's house and you've made an effort with your hair, the women appreciate it.
They appreciate it, yeah.
But I was like, what? When I heard that, and I was like, I guess, yeah, because like if I had been assaulted, like I just want everything to be as reassuring as possible.
And do you know, I think that makes sense because I thought that, and then I thought to myself, imagine if something terrible's happened to you. I bet there's this weird guilt thing that you get when police come to your house. I bet sometimes some victims think I've got everybody out of bed, or like it's 4 a.m, this person's here. I bet there's that. I bet there's definitely that to it. So if you look fresh and alert,
yeah.
it's I guess it gains their trust a little bit better.
Yeah, because everyone else is like sat there in fucking pajamas and stuff, and then someone walks in but looking put together. You're like, here's someone I can trust who's going to take care of it.
Because the last thing you'd want is some scruff turning up in bloody pair of pajamas with a like, right, what now? That'd be my method of policing, I think.
what
now?
With rollers in. Last night's makeup. All these dogs come into the neighbourhood. And apparently when they were doing these stakeouts, the police would be sort of sat there hiding in the dark, and they would hear the dogs starting barking in bits of town, and then they would go quiet and it would start somewhere else, and they were like, that's him walking around.
God.
Fucking chilling, isn't
It's
it?
so horrible. Like, this would make genuinely such if it wasn't real,
Someone's going to do it.
it
Someone
would
will do a
be
film.
such a good fiction film.
Do you know what it reminds me of? This is such a cunty thing to say, but when I went on holiday to Sri Lanka, yes.
Here we go.
When I went
Where's
on
this
safari with the leopards, we got stuck in the park after dark because our vehicle got stranded. And they were like, you have to be out at dark because that's when the leopards come out hunting.
Oh my God.
So it's like, you've got to be out by 6 o'clock. We got stuck at 5:30. We didn't get out till nearly 7:30. So we're stuck there, and then he's like, okay, like, you know, like we're trying to push the car out of this thing. We're out there and it's starting to get dusk. I was like, I really need a wee. And they were like, okay, go in the bushes, but you have to go with someone. So like,
Excuse me, I've got bath bombs back at the hotel.
which this is the thing is like, that was a step forward in our relationship where like he's watching me with my arse out, pissing into the grass, being like terrified that I'm going to get my butt bitten off
Having
by
a
a leopard.
terrified wee.
Yeah, exactly. And it's different. Like we've all seen a boy weeing, but like the active woman is very vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, have I mentioned the woman I saw in Newcastle piss?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
great.
that was incredible. Just, you know, not even late in the evening, 7 o'clock maybe, just on that bridge in Newcastle train station, just squatted down, put a bum in the air and like crouched and just pissed on the pedestrian walkway. It was incredible. I've never seen such an act of confidence in my life.
So we're out there in the dark. Well, it's like dusk, and everyone's like, "Ha!" And then around us, these, I think they're called samba deers. They start barking,
Oh God.
and so we don't find out till the next day. That is them going like, "There's a leopard."
Oh my God.
And then when we get back, the woman who was with us, who was like one of the owners' girlfriend, she was dead sound, this Sri Lankan girl, she was like, oh yeah, when the samba were barking, there was a leopard there. And he was like, yeah. And we were like, what? And he was like, yeah, that's why. He was like, why don't we all get back in the car? You know,
Nobody panic.
Get back in the truck. It's just a bit more cash that way. But yeah, he was like, there was a leopard watching us.
Fucking hell.
And it's just like that kind of eerie thing of like, you're not. It's that weird thing of imagine that being your community and it being safe, and suddenly it'd be like, oh no, you're on someone else's thing now. Like they can see you more than you can see them.
Although it depends. I
Scary.
imagine leopards are quite snooty now. I imagine a leopard would look at the tourists and go, I'm not eating any of that foreign muck, thank you very much.
It's too spicy. Too spicy. Or too mild, probably.
Too mild, I reckon we'd be. I reckon we'd just taste like a really weak sandwich filling, like cheese and onion.
Sandwich bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be something like that.
You know those egg mayo sandwiches that don't taste of egg anymore?
Yeah.
They're just like, this is just texture now.
Absolutely. I think that's what we'd be.
Then, it was a few days before Christmas 1976. Chris McFarlane is 15 years old. She's alone at home. She's practicing the piano in the living room. As she's doing it, she hears like the sound of fabric tearing, but she just doesn't pay any attention to it. And then as she's playing the piano, there's this guy behind her with a knife on her throat. And she was like, if I cough, that's going to cut my throat open.
Oh my God.
And he did his, if you move, I'm going to kill you. He'd made bindings out of her sister's shoelaces that he put around her wrists, and then he had this cloth in his pocket that he put, I'm so sorry.
I mean, the act of what he's doing is bad enough, but that word coming into it as well.
The rag from his pocket, he stuffed into her mouth. What has that been? Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Insult to injury, isn't it?
Like, oh, great. Now this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like someone putting a penny in your
pledge.
mouth.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So he ties another bit of fabric around, so it's like a gag, and then pushes her out to the picnic table at the back of the house, and was like, if you say anything, if you flinch, if you scream, I'm going to push this knife in you, and then I'm just going to disappear. So what he does is he goes in and out the house and just like rapes her like 3-4 times. Goes in, makes himself a sandwich, starts like going through the kitchen, goes out, rapes her again. Just horrific. So yeah, he'd go in and out and just like smash things up and then come out, and she'd just be lying there waiting for him to come back again. Awful. She'd only been at home for 10 minutes and her parents had gone out to a Christmas party. So that shows that he was sat there in the bushes waiting. And also that kind of thing of like, yeah, so like, okay, they're dressed up, they're going to be out all night. Her sister was at work and then her best friend was meant to stay over that night, but the mum called up and was like, you got to come home and bake cookies for Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Imagine how fucking shit that poor mum feels. Like literally just being like, no, you're coming home, you've got it's family time. And then finding out. But then also...
But also,
would that have been
both of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was a time when he did do that.
And apparently they think that he got in way earlier and was just hiding in her closet the whole time.
Fucking hell, it's horrible that, isn't it?
It's absolutely fucking disgusting.
I mean, BTK was horrific, but this is like BTK...
Squared.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
With just...
So he had a red ski mask on, because the others were usually white.
Yeah, it was white, black, and it wore different colours.
Sometimes it's nice to mix it up, isn't it?
I mean...
Maybe there was an offer on.
I mean, it's the least of his... At least there was no crimes against his fashion sense.
During these horrific rapes on Chris McFarland, he put his dick in her hands that were bound behind her back, and he's like, right, stroke it. And apparently he used to do this so often that was like a trait of the attacks. That he would like try and make him wank him off with bound hands. Such a fucking weird thing. Then he took her into the parents' room and sexually raped her in there, and then the living room. And then he was, as he was doing it, he was like, "Isn't this good?" Whispering to this fucking poor kid.
You know, that's like as well to do that in every single room of that house. What, that family can't live there anymore.
No,
You can't.
no.
Or if you have to, it's just going to be a constant. The mental reminders of that, just thinking, it's just horrible.
So what he would do as well is like he'd leave her out there for ages, or in the house. I think it was on the living room floor, left her there for ages. She was quite religious, and she was sort of like repeating stuff about like Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me, Jesus loves me, and then it'd been quiet for so long. She's like, okay, he's gone. So she gets up, she like moved her elbow, and he just was on top of her in her ear and was like, I'm going to fucking kill you if you move. So he was just sat there watching, waiting for her to think, because it was all about fear. All about fear. So fucking horrific. And then, 3 times he raped her, and then she'd been lying there, and she got to the point where she's like, you know what, he can just fucking kill me. Mm-hmm. And she got up, and he wasn't there anymore.
Oh, just having to wait in that silence.
Yeah. Horrific.
Really, really awful.
And apparently there's like a group of women who are survivors who have sort of like created a network, and they sort of like meet like recently, 40 years later, and how they introduce themselves will be like, hey, I'm number 10.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, so she's number 10.
Jesus. Ooh. I mean, it doesn't get any better, really. There's a very in-depth one that was June the 18th, so that date was 1975, was it?
Yes, it was. And then I've got one on December the 12th as well. Oh, 1975. Because I haven't got them all. There's
So I've got
an awful lot. Do you want me to do my one from December 1975?
So mine start from 1976 then. Yeah.
This is at 8:30, so it's quite early in the evening. December the 12th, 1975. And this masked guy enters through the backyard of the house, and police heard him. So he enters through the backyard of this house. Now police hear like the commotion, so enter because like police are patrolling this area. Now William McGowan, this police officer, is holding a gun to him, and the guy freaks out, screams, pulls his ski mask off, and is like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" So he pretends to surrender, and then fucking just as the guy's coming to arrest him, fucks off, jumps over the fence, and as he's jumping over the fence, he with his left hand he pulls out a gun and he shoots at the police officer, but he shoots and smashes his flashlight. And then like fucks off into the woods, and all the police run over thinking that an officer's been shot. And then there was bits that they found in the house there, like a tennis shoe, some stamps that he dropped, and a sock full of
stamps.
Yeah, he used to steal stamps from the houses.
Oh, he stole that. I thought he just took them with him.
No, but sometimes it's good to have some on you.
I mean, yeah, it is good. Yeah, that's it. So he stole stamps.
Yeah, and a sock full of coins, and his flashlight that he had as well. Also, at about this time,
sock full of coins is a weapon, though, isn't it?
It is, but it was because of coins. He wanted coins.
Just
But
wanted
yeah, it's
coins.
both actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be,
He's
yeah.
stealing the coins and it's a weapon. Oh, also, just to go back to Chris MacFarlane, when she told her parents who are really religious, they were like, don't tell anyone. Because it was the 70s, they were like, don't tell anyone that. So they just moved silently and she was told like never to speak to it about anyone. She massively struggled, obviously. The mum never referred to it. Like no one ever spoke to her about it. She went through that ordeal.
Wow.
And so she was like, so she got into drugs, got into like, alcohol, really risky relationship, because she's spiraling. She's had a huge trauma. And that's how the family dealt with it. They didn't know how to deal with it.
Just swept it under the carpet.
Absolutely. It wasn't even, that's an active thing.
Yeah.
It was like pretending the carpet never existed.
And if that kind of treatment makes people think it's their fault. Or,
There's already enough blame that goes
it's
with sexual assault. Yeah, exactly. So I've got June 76, Phyllis Sidka.
Yeah, June 18th, 1976. Phyllis Idger. Is it Idger? Idger?
Yeah.
She was from, again, one of these small towns in California. She lived with her dad, and she was on her own this particular night. I think her dad was away in Massachusetts, wasn't he?
It was a one-storey house, which is his vibe.
Yeah, he would look for women in one-storey houses, wouldn't he? I mean, initially on their own or with children, but this changes slightly as we go on.
Her dad is a former copper as well.
Yeah. So she's at home, she gets in bed, she's asleep, she's fast asleep, and then she wakes up and she sees a man in the doorway tapping on the door. So she's like, oh, is that my dad? And she realises, no, it's not my dad. Then she thinks, oh, is this a bad dream? Because the man is naked from the waist down and he's got a white ski mask on. And then she realises that...
She pulls the covers over her head.
She pulls the covers over her head, which is such like a... I don't know, it's such a...
Childlike.
It's the only thing you... That's right, childlike. It's the only thing you can do. There's nothing you can do. So he comes in, he's got a knife, and he says to her again, one move or sound, and I'll stick this knife in you. She knew as well, she said from the way he spoke, that he sounded like he was putting the voice on.
Yeah.
Like you said, like through clenched teeth.
Yeah.
He tied her up. He rapes her. He ransacked her room. He goes through all her stuff. He goes through her underwear drawer. He starts taking things, and he's arguing with himself as well.
Yeah, and like whispering.
Which is a common thing that keeps coming up again and again. So people will hear him go, oh, I'm going to kill him, or, he
used to go, I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah, or Bonnie.
Yeah, because sometimes they were like, did he say Mommy? And they're like, no, he's saying Bonnie.
Yeah. This happens. She then sort of, he goes, and she realises, she starts trying to...
Sorry.
All right, we know you're there.
Sorry, gross. Bit of spit went down the wrong way.
She starts to try and undo her... Bindings, that's the word. So she gets to the phone and she manages to dial the operator, which is 0. And she says, look, this has happened to me, I need the police. And the operator says, oh, actually, we don't deal with the police, you need to redial. And
Fuck me.
Then she's like, actually, I can't because of this. So they eventually get hold of the police. Now, she calls her dad, and her dad was quite a stern man, quite a, stiff upper lip type chap. Apparently, when he put the phone down to her, he cried for hours.
Yeah,
and then
sobbing.
He drove for 3 days straight just so he could get to her, all the way from Massachusetts.
Yeah, to California.
Yeah.
Now, the preceding bit of this is that she had noticed in the house, which is in Sacramento, a green sedan had been sat outside the house for ages. And she was like, there's a guy always looking here and watching, but I can never see his face. And even when she was like coming down the street once, like she's like, that's that fucking guy in that car. So tries to look in and he turns away and drives off. So he'd been stalking her and staking her out for ages. And then also there had been like a spate up until the attack of phone calls where she would answer and there'd be no one there and she's like, oh, it's just prank calls. But what he's trying to do is he's going, okay, if she's in, she answers the phone. So I need to find out when she's not in and they'll go and hide in the house.
Yeah, he's getting his little
because he would often visit before, open a door or a window that wasn't open before to give himself an access, and then he'd come back again. Because there was a woman who found...
this was a man who had a job as well. When was he finding the time?
He was a policeman.
I know, but I mean in later years as well. When he wasn't.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, at this time he wasn't, was he? Cause
that's true.
He'd been booted out of the police force.
Yeah, fuck me.
So
he's got a full-time job,
He's got jobs, and he's got, as we learn later, he's got a family. 1976, he's married with children.
Because he's doing so many, and they're days after each other. There's this chilling one about a woman who's like tidying a house, and is like beating the cushions on the sofa, lifts the bit you sit on the cushion, and there's like handcuffs under there and like ropes And
Oh my
now she
God.
realises that was planted there.
That's horrific. But my first thought, going back to another episode, would be, is someone in this house crafting kink stuff? Bit of rope and some handcuffs. I'd be like, get out.
Why is this brightly coloured wool in here?
I mean, obviously it's not funny, but... So...
We're trying to keep it light.
We are. I mean, we've got to, really, haven't we? Because I genuinely feel like I've spent a day with this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's horrible.
So they filed the
You
crime...
fuckers are going to listen to this at Christmas.
What is wrong with you?
What's the matter with you?
Take a look at yourselves, but also thank you so much
thank
for
you very
listening.
much.
So the crime report on this horrific attack where he's ransacking the place, he's stalked her, he's raped her, he's bound her up, he's threatened her with a knife, was only 8 pages long.
Yeah.
Apparently they didn't question any of the neighbours.
Yeah. And if they had, they would have found out that it was the neighbour's dog that he killed.
Yeah.
Not
That
so far.
Pups, that dog that had made the fucking papers.
2 years before this, Phyllis had been burgled, but nothing had been stolen,
Yeah. Which is obviously him.
clearly.
There was loads of reports of backyard prowlers in that area. So, like, this is a Visalia ransacker. Like, this is his case.
They just didn't... It's like they don't care, to be quite honest, isn't it? They're not interested.
And then, well, they aren't, because he says, do you know who raped you? And she was like, no. And he was like, okay, well, the case is pending. And apparently that means it's just
It's
that's
done.
it,
We're not
that's
gonna
done it.
bother.
And they hadn't even got the reports back from the crime lab.
Yeah,
which
when he
had
made
his
that
DNA.
decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just... And
But
then
apparently that means that they never got them back, because it was like, this case is pending, you don't need to do it.
Well, they start questioning her, going, were you seeing anyone? Is there anyone do you think it could be?
But that's a legitimate line of questioning.
Of course it is. But unfortunately, when you look at all the other kind of stuff, it doesn't come across very well, because the last thing he says to her when he's leaving is, oh, if you think of who it could be, get back in touch.
Call us if you learn who it is, he says.
Call us if you learn who it is.
Oh, great, I'll
okay.
investigate my own rape while I'm
Yeah.
dealing with this trauma. And apparently while she was like waiting for her dad, just like sat in her bed and didn't move, which you fucking would, wouldn't you? That poor woman. But it doesn't stop there for Phyllis.
No. She's great. Like, you hear her being interviewed. She's a
fucking
proper
brill.
tough woman.
And she says, well, because she lost her mum when she was really young.
Yeah.
And she said while it was happening, her mum always said to her, she's like, listen, you're going to go through some stuff in your life. And it's going to be horrific, but you'll get through the other side. Which I don't know is what they just tell women who were raised in the 40s, like, you're going to get raped, that is just part of being a woman.
I think
maybe, chin up, mate.
Maybe they made tapestries with it on.
Yeah.
That sounds like the kind of thing that they would really hammer home to women.
It's mad, isn't it?
Back in the day.
But like, almost as a safety precaution, you're probably going to get a shitty deal, mate. So you're just going to have to be so fucking tough.
Brutal, isn't it?
It is brutal.
Very brutal.
And this is one of the most chilling parts for me.
She's trying to get over this awful thing that's happened. And then phone calls start. As we know, she's had phone calls before, but these were phone calls clearly from the attacker. And he was heavy breathing. The police started to record the calls. Heavy breathing, telling her he was going to kill her. One of the recordings you can hear...
No. So it was heavy breathing on the calls. And she's like, I know it's you. Just wouldn't say anything. So they started taping the phone calls. And then he would stay on the line for ages. So it got to the point where she'd be like, I know it's you, and she would just put it down on the counter and get on with things. And you can, like, there's a recording of it, and you can hear her shouting in the background, like, I know it's you. So they, like, the police listen back to it, and he's going in that voice, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, he doesn't even definitely know that she's listening. He's just like...
He just wants
that
to do it.
rage or that, like, fear, whatever it is.
Well, it's all about him, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah.
He just wants to be able to say what he wants to say.
Yeah.
But the fact that... the thing is as well, obviously I'm not saying this in a good way, it's fucking ballsy doing that, ringing up after you've attacked somebody like that, and after you're still continuing to do all these rapes and eventually murders. It's fucking ballsy. It's like, you're not going to catch me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like. It's not like, as you said
But
before,
they were fucking right until recently.
Well, it's not like you say, it wasn't like BTK where I think sometimes he kind of wanted to slip up.
Yeah.
It's not like that. This is like, you're not going to get me, so I'll just fucking do what I want.
Yeah. Just even the thing of, like, that poor fucking woman living in that house and him being like, yeah, I'm not going to leave you alone.
It's just really...
Poor fuck it. She's amazing, though. Like, yeah, honestly, like, if you read anything with her or listen to anything, she's so fucking tough. She's incredible.
Definitely.
So my next one is on January 24th, 1977.
Well, I've got here, so if you think about this, between January the 18th, 1977 and December the 2nd, 1977, there was 16 rapes, one attempted rape, and one of the rapes that happened was to a 13-year-old girl, which was one of his youngest known victims.
Yes, I've got some more on her.
So after...
Is this 77?
Yeah, so January the 18th, 1977, everything sort of has calmed down a little bit. But after the 18th of June, after what happened to Phyllis, law enforcement, when all these other rapes happen, law enforcement in October had put out a reward for the East Area Rapist, and it was $2,500 for information. So January 18th, 1977, he raped a housewife while her husband was away, and he stole her car as well. So again, obviously he's watching.
Because he's using that he's using the things he steals in the crime. So for instance, with Claude Snelling, I think the bullets they got from him matched a gun that had been stolen from a house, because the guy used to do target practice who had his gun stolen, and they checked the shells and they matched, because it's the scratches. It's weird the shit he's bringing to crime scenes as well. So January 24th, 1977, it says at Citrus Heights, 25-year-old woman, she's bound up with rope and she's threatened with a ice pick. Okay, the fucker's got one of them knocking around.
Yeah, he just doesn't have any clear... I guess, so maybe January the 24th, maybe he's got that car and he's stolen it, and he's got more access to, like, I've got a car here, I'll be all right. Like, I'll take my shit with me.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's changing his sort of technique all the time.
He's constantly evolving his MO, but they think it's a mixture of, like, mixing it up and throwing people off the scent and also refining it. He tries not to shoot them towards the end because it's noisy.
Yeah.
And tries to use stuff in the house already. So February the 7th, 1977, again in Citrus Heights, an 18-year-old guy was shot in the abdomen because he sees a prowler. Fucking runs after him. A lot of balls to be a guy who's like, the fuck are you doing looking in that window?
I'm going to go for him.
Gets shot in the stomach. He lives. March 18th, again 77, this is in Rancho Cordova, a 16-year-old comes home to pick up a change of clothes to go out with her friends, and in that little period that she's there, he rapes her. Now, it's really hard because the police high up, we'll get onto this a bit later, aren't talking to each other. But there's like, along the lower ranking police, there's a bit of a whisper network going on where they're like, have you got some like burglaries with like weird stuff with dogs and things? And they're sort of chatting, they're starting to put it together, the people in the different areas. Like I said, a guy with a raspy voice threatening people to cut, and they start to see that like, okay, this is happening in I think it's Sacramento and Santa Barbara. May 5th, 1977. This is a woman and a husband. So this is when he first starts with couples. So he rapes the mum. The two kids are asleep, and he ransacks the house. So this is where he starts using like couples against each other. Yeah. He makes them. There's another one really similar to that on May the 14th, 1977, where he'll sort of make one partner tie the other one up and threaten and be like, we'll rape them in earshot of the partner and be like, if I hear anything, I'll just kill her. So they have to lie there and hear it. It's fucking awful. October 1st, 1977.
God, May the 17th, this is where he breaks in and he attacks a couple again, and he rapes the woman, and he says to the woman, if this is reported in the press, then I'm going to kill. Then he says to the man, if this doesn't go to the press, then I'm going to kill. Yeah, so he's playing games.
Yeah, so they're totally there, because apparently I think it was the was it the woman he said, if this goes to the press, I'll cut. Yeah, because apparently the day it all came out in the papers, she was fucking beside herself, being like, I'm about to be killed tonight because of this. But it's just that thing of like, obviously the fucking horrific trauma of going through this. And then the fallout of the mind games he plants there. So like with Phyllis phoning her, like you can't leave any, he's got to like keep instilling fear. Like, oh God, he's so chilling.
Well, obviously they do go to the police, and this is where the composite drawing of him is released. And it's actually, I think it's pretty accurate.
It's really good, yeah.
Knowing what we know now, I think it's pretty bang on.
So, October the 1st, 1977, this is Rancho Cordova again. A 17-year-old is visiting a boyfriend at the time and gets raped while she's there, which is like, I bet that, that family, she would have had arguments about whether she can stay with her boyfriend or not, and the parents would have been like, fine. When you can feel all the backstory and be like, there's a million people who will blame themselves 1,000 times for this stuff. October 21st, 1977, this is in Antelope. He rapes the mother of the family, ties up the mum and the dad, who were then found by the kids, the two little kids who have to untie them. Just stuff like that. And we're like, that's so damaging.
And he
for
knows
everyone.
that.
Of course he does.
Because he's watching everything. He
Yeah.
knows that's what he wants to happen, and he knows that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So one of his youngest victims is November the 10th, 1977. Her name is Margaret Wardlow. Now, she's amazing. There's a really great interview with her. She, as a kid, was fucking obsessed with him. Used to read every newspaper article. Like, she's 13 years old. Every newspaper article about him. If it was now, she'd have a podcast.
Yeah.
She said, I remember reading this article, I've read it so many times, and saying to myself, Margaret, there isn't any more words to read. She was just really interested, and she was scared of him. And my mum was like, listen, he will never come after you because you're too young, basically. I was like, he's not after people like you, because up until then he had been raping adult women. So then she's 13 years old. It's 2 a.m. She wakes up, blinded by a flashlight. She starts laughing because she thinks it's her mum or her uncle or whatever, or neighbour, winding her up. And then he goes, this isn't a joke. He tied up her mum already,
Oh my God.
blindfolded her, and then he stacked plates on the mum, which is a thing he used to do. Plates or piggy banks, so if they moved, he would hear it fall, and it was his like alarm system. And she's fucking amazing. She was like, I knew I had the advantage because he didn't know everything I knew about him. She's 13, like she's incredible.
hell.
So he's sexually assaulting her, and she's thinking, don't sweat, because that's what he wants. He wants fear. He'd be like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And she goes, I don't care.
Wow.
Yeah, and he sodomizes her, and she says it barely lasted because I was just like, I don't care. And she was like, he's doing this because he wants me to be scared. So if I'm not scared, I'm safer.
Oh my God.
Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. So, but at this time, Sacramento are like, the police force are like, let's try and talk to Santa Barbara. There's obviously similar stuff going on. We need to talk to each other. The Visalia cat burglar is a lot like the East Area Rapist. So phone up and they say to Santa Barbara, listen, have you had any murders? Like, because there'd been a double homicide in the papers. They went, no, we've not had a crime like that. And it was like, oh, there was something in the paper. They're like, no, it doesn't sound like us.
So weird, isn't it?
So hangs up. So, but this guy who's with Sacramento is like, I fucking know there is, and I don't know why this police chief isn't talking to me. So he goes to some like police training thing, and there happens to be a guy there from Santa Barbara, so he's like chatting to him. And he's like, yeah, I heard about that double homicide you had. And he's like, oh man, it's fucked up. And he said, the other thing that no one's talking about is that just before that, we had like a rape in the same area. Mm-hmm. So like we've got these violent crimes all of a sudden, and no one's
And they mentioned the dog things as well.
Yeah, and they were like, and these dogs have been killed, all this kind of stuff. And they're like, why is no one talking about it? And he's like, well, because Reagan, who's up for re-election, has a ranch down here, and it'd be really bad publicity. How fucked is that?
So mad.
So the guy at Sacramento is like, I'm not giving up on this. So he finds him again. He's like, you know what? I'm sure that these rapes are linked to your burglaries. I'm sure it's all happening. And then apparently it was like this weird thing where the guy is really honest about it. He says it was sort of a point of pride that it would be like, if this rapist is now a murderer that happened on my watch, I've let that happen. Mm-hmm. And he didn't want to admit that to himself. So almost like sabotaging an investigation because he didn't want to like lose face. He said it would feel like a real slap in the face. He said unless the narrative is that we scared him away. So Santa Barbara just not interested in communicating at all.
It's like, oh, we only like crimes as long as we can solve them.
Yeah. And so they threatened. They're like, well, you know what? We could talk about this and there'll be loads of reporters down in your area. And he was up for re-election as a police chief. And like this East Area Rapist was seen, and the Golden State Killer was seen as like a political hot potato. It's absolutely mad that it was women's safety and men's safety were being bargained with over people's elections.
It's just so insane, just not being interested.
When the rapes stop and it turns to homicide, the task force to solve the East Area Rapist stops.
Yeah.
And doesn't even like wind down and like, don't forget, it completely stops.
Completely like, no, that's it.
And the party line was, well, this is now somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
Which is so fucked.
They kind of make the public think it's their problem in a roundabout way, don't they? Like, because if they're not interested and they don't see anything being done and people are frightened, it's just all so badly managed.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a hiatus.
The next one I've got is June 5th, 1978.
I've got February 2nd, 1978, Brian and Katie.
Great, yeah, go for it.
So 1978, February the 2nd, the murders start again. I mean, we've had one, but as that we know of. So
there was a double homicide and there was Claude Salmon.
That's right. Yeah. So Brian and Katie Magari, Macabre. I should have got that right. I can't read my own fucking writing. How many times have I
Been a long
written
day,
that?
mate.
Magario. Magario, yes.
Is it?
I think it is, yeah.
I'm really sorry if we're being really disrespectful here.
This was in Rancho Cordova. They were walking the dog in the evening, and
yeah, this is fucking mad.
yeah, they just see him, and then he shoots them.
Yeah, well, there's this thing where they find he's hunted them both down.
It's like Son of Sam.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That it's exactly like that. Like he's let them loose. Or the fucking frozen ground guy, Robert.
Oh yeah,
Not Picton.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't
Hanson?
remember his. I think that's right. Yeah.
Where they're like shot in their back, and I think maybe he or maybe she was close to her house or in her backyard.
I wonder if he's maybe. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm probably just having a little moment. I wonder if he ever read anything about BTK or read anything about Son of Sam and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to try that one." Or do you know what I mean? Like especially Son of Sam. Like maybe he's like, oh, "I'm going to try."
But they're not similar areas, are they? New York.
No. But I mean, it just
it's not there's no internet, is there?
No, but Son of Sam was huge. That was a huge news story. So that would definitely have been. He would definitely have heard about it.
Son of Sam is
David Berkowitz.
Yeah, but isn't that after it's late 70s?
Well, this is 78.
Yeah.
So you don't know if maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But it's just one of those things that you think maybe he was kind of
picking up ideas.
Yeah.
Although I think with his military background and his police background, he's got fucking plenty of ideas of his own.
Very true. Between March and July in 1978, there was 7 rapes.
Yeah, he goes a bit further. So June 5th on 78, he goes down to Modesto, which is the furthest south the East Area Rapist ever goes. And July 6th, 1978, he raped a 33-year-old mum of 2. This is in Davis. And as he was doing it, he was like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. I just want money. I just want," like, as he burgles her, "I just want money for gasoline," and then rapes her. It's fucking weird detail. Like, you don't. What's that for?
Again,
and then
that's like bloody. What's his chops?
$23.
That's like the Boston Strangler.
Yeah,
that's like something he'd do as well. Like, "Oh, don't worry, I just want money for this."
Yeah,
he used to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
and then like rape people. It's so weird. Like everything's just so.
But it's all part of it's to fuck people up in the head, I honestly think. So, October 7th, 1978, he's in Concord, and...
They're a fast way of life down there.
I'm glad we're in a soundproof booth, and there's no outside noise to ruin the silence that you deserve for that. Now, this is where he gets the woman to tie up the husband face down and puts the dishes on the back, and then he steals china. He's like, what is he on bargain hunt? What the fuck is he?
Some of the things it takes, and also I'm very intrigued when this trial happens.
What's in his house?
What's in his what else have they got? Do you know what I mean? This is all this shit that he's stealing.
Yeah, all that. Well, we should definitely do another episode when the trial comes out, because 100%. I bet he's got some lockups.
I mean, let's face it. If by some chance we're absolutely wrong, these episodes will be removed from the internet forever.
That'll be so funny.
Can you imagine?
Do you know what it'd be like?
I'm very sorry about that.
At the beginning of Peter Pan, where they've got a bit now, if you watch it, that says there are some scenes in here that like Disney doesn't stand by some of the depictions, but we think it would be wrong to whitewash it, so we're keeping them in anyway. That is what we'll do. We're like, "Welcome to All Killa No Filla podcast. We'd just like to apologise for the defamation of Joseph DeAngelo
we'd be like,
repeatedly for pushing 2 hours
due to evidence that is undeniably in his favour," which I don't think it was.
Well, he did. We'll talk about this in another thing. He got exonerated from one of them with the DNA test.
Yeah.
But so
this is March. Did you say March the 13th? Did you say? Is this Charlene and Lyman?
Yeah, I've got a few more between then.
79. We've got December 79.
There's loads of... There's 79. I've got a few...
Yeah.
I've basically, because there's so many, I don't want to say, like, picked notable ones, because I don't want anyone to think that their rape wasn't notable, but things
just the ones that we can get enough information on, because some of them... We'd just be
like,
listing...
a woman was raped, a woman was raped.
And it would be, not... a lot less pleasant than it is now.
Yeah. I think, actually, when we put this out, we should be like, guys, this is a fucking tough one.
Yeah, I think they'll... Well, I'll write. We'll write.
I just don't want anyone to have their Christmas ruined because they listen to
all
this.
I can say is if you decide to have one of your Christmas traditions listening to a fucking true crime podcast that you listen to a lot, We are not responsible for you crying on Christmas Day.
I'm more thinking about people who are like bored and like, oh, I've heard about this podcast with two comedians.
Can I just say, if people are just bored and decide to do that at Christmas, fuck them. I'm sorry. I hope you get no presents. That is the behaviour of an insane person. Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad
not.
you've sat on the fence for this one, Fairburn.
But I do agree with you. You pop a little thing on there.
Yeah.
But if that is what you're doing on Christmas Day, have a fucking word, mate. If you've not listened before, that is.
What I say to that is, have a Merry Christmas in whichever way you see fit. June 2nd, 1979, a joint youngest victim, another 13-year-old, he rapes. October the 1st, 1979, he's in Goleta. Now, he's tied up the woman and the man, and he's pacing around, and he's going to himself, I'm going to kill them. I'll kill them. I'll kill them. The woman hears this and fucking just screams. The neighbours come, and he fucks off. They take this to a psychologist. Now, this is very early days of, like, psychological profiling. Or it's not as advanced as it is now, let's say. But the psychologist is like, he wants to start killing them as well as raping them. He's going to do it. He's looking for them to give them a reason why. He's looking for a justification, which is fascinating when you think about it, because you're like, I didn't realise these people had to give themselves justifications. But the escalation is that, isn't it? It's a whole they're building themselves up to do the thing that they want to do. So December the 30th, I absolutely hate it when it's near Christmas. 1979, this is Robert Offerman and Deborah Manning. This is in Goleta.
They're a couple, and they're at home, obviously, doing what everyone does. And they're shot dead.
Do you mean they were banging?
No, I didn't mean that, and I don't know why I said it. I'd say banging. I wouldn't say doing what everyone does.
But I don't know what that is. Arguing or going, what's for tea?
I don't know. Some of my married mates, they're not. They're just like silently sitting there hating each other.
Reading their phones?
Yeah, reading the phone.
Liking each other's posts on Instagram.
Oh, I can't wait to go on holiday together so I can look at my phone somewhere a bit warmer. So they're just at home, getting about the evening, doing whatever it is they're doing, and he gets in there. And they're in bed again, which is obviously his MO, and he shoots them.
Well, they think that when they found the bodies, Robert's bindings were loose, so they think that he tried to free himself, got partially free, and as he was trying to escape or attack him, that's when they got shot. Also, on the previous one in Goleta, when he was going, I'll kill him, when he flees on a bike. There's something so fucking weirdly Beano about being a rapist and then being like, on a fucking chopper.
Can I just interrupt? I've just got a message off somebody here that says, this person is apparently famous murderer. Do you know who it is? They're obviously doing a pub quiz. It's fucking Phil Spector. Who doesn't know that that's Phil Spector?
He does look different now on trial. But no, you can...
I'd love a day off from murder. It's Christmas.
I clearly had someone else who was like, how many people did so-and-so kill? Like, tweeted me, and I'm like fucking Google, mate.
Yeah, I'm on the internet. I'm not going to Google it. I'm just going to ask.
It was something like, when did the Yorkshire Ripper first kill someone? And we're like, Wikipedia could take care of this. March 13th, 1980, Charlene and Lyman Smith. This is in Ventura. This is fucking horrific.
Yeah, so, Charlene, March 13th, he rapes Charlene and he bludgeons her to death with firewood from the fire. And he does the same to Lyman.
It's a piece of firewood that he kills her one. It's just one fatal blow. Whereas the guy, I think maybe he shoots at him, and the guy still comes at him, and then he hits him like 7 times around the head with firewood. God. But that's a thing from their house. That's again him trying to be like, using someone's home against them is just so chilling. So a few months later, August 19th, 1980, Keith and Patricia Harrington
Patrice.
Yes,
I thought Patrice was a guy's name,
I thought it was. Well, very progressive.
Well, whatever.
They're a date. Well, they got the same surname. Maybe it's brother and sister.
They've been married 3 months.
Oh yeah, they've been married 3 months. Yeah. So they're at Dara
But who
Point.
knows the rules in different counties?
Yes, very progressive. At Dara Point, they had again been bludgeoned to death. Mm-hmm. So what's interesting about this is he's not shooting people as much. He's using they're getting more and more viscerally violent.
Yeah.
It's more like hand-to-hand stuff, and it's stuff in the houses.
Well, the gun's noisy, isn't it? That's
yeah,
it.
exactly. So he's going, well, every time I shoot, someone's going to wake up and there's witnesses who saw me run away. So he's like, but if I can bludgeon someone to death in their own home using something from it. She had been raped before she had been killed. Now, Keith's brother, Bruce, was actually the one who kind of helped it come to justice because he campaigned for California government to expand their DNA logs, which is how he comes. It's part of the reason why he gets caught because they now include, because there's like the DNA database, but if you're not on that, you're not on that. And then they've now got a thing where you can get a warrant for, like ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Or like you and whatever it's called, like 123 and DNA thing.
Yeah. Ancestry DNA.
That's it. Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, them things.
That way
more people that you don't want to send a card to.
Well, that people get them for Christmas thinking, oh, we're going to find out if we're kings, everybody.
Oh, God, yeah.
In actual fact, there's absolutely nothing of interest. Although a friend of ours did find her father. She was adopted. She actually found her real father.
Biological, not real.
Biological. Fucking hell. I'm tired.
It's
sorry.
all right, mate. I know you're not a bigot. But I actually think that that's a fucking terrible idea because there's a reason that you were... Cause this is the thing. It's really interesting that someone we know is adopted and people were like, it goes through, especially at Christmas, there'll be a spate of people being like, listen, I was put up for adoption in 1986 in this place. So if anyone knows, I think my birth mother has got this name, and they should be like, please share. I think they're doing a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But like, if a child is put into adoption, it's not done very quickly. Like there's a set of circumstances that exists.
The circumstances around our friends were very, very different. She was basically orphaned, or so she thought.
Right.
So her mother died when she was a baby.
Really?
And then as it turned out, her dad didn't know she ever existed.
Really?
Nope, I had no idea. And it's ended really nicely for her. She's got another family now who've been really welcoming.
I'm thinking of another friend of ours who has an adopted son and is like, please think really hard about this because,
oh wow,
like my son is with me because it is not safe to be with his birth family.
Yeah.
Like that's why he's here.
So that's a totally
and also when you reintroduce, when they do meet, if they do meet like once a year, it's in very controlled circumstances.
Yeah.
And like to be, and like it happened with my uncle, or I don't really know, but my nana adopted him, and then he like tracked down his biological mother, and then told my nana about it, and she was like, "Why? I had a dress. You didn't need to sneak around." He turned up on the doorstep, was like, "I'm your son," and she was like, "No, you are not. I have a family," and like shut the door. But it's because like whatever circumstances she put him up for adoption, they haven't necessarily changed.
Yeah, exactly.
If she
you don't
was
know
like,
what it's a minefield, you don't know what you're going into.
yeah, you don't know how he was conceived, under what circumstances, how old she was, what situation, but like she has a life and like she's and then like the trauma that must have come from that for him is so difficult.
Yeah,
like,
it's all very difficult, I
which
imagine.
is why I think fucking throwing your DNA, for a start, I don't trust any
don't be
fucker to have
whacking your
it.
DNA about
Especially
everywhere.
if you're, let's face it, black. Like, you can't be trusting them with, like, fucking cameras on their jackets, let alone whacking your DNA
There
somewhere.
must be so many... I don't know. It's just going to be used, isn't it, for... I don't like the
Nefarious.
idea of my DNA being out there
Yeah.
at all. I don't know, even though I've not done anything. But, what if I...
Yeah, some people we've talked about love the idea of their DNA being out there,
Absolutely.
specifically on a woman's
Refer
tits.
to the first part.
February the 6th, 1981. These are into the last few murders that are on the rap sheet. So this is Manuela Witten. She's in Irvine. She is raped and again bludgeoned to death. There's a couple on July 27th, 1981, which is Sherry Domingo. She was raped and then killed. And then Gregory Sanchez, her partner, he shot him and it went through his cheek.
Yeah.
Which is like Fight Club.
Well, this was a few blocks from the Offerman murders.
Yeah.
This was like so nearby.
I think it was 2 blocks away.
Yeah, 2 blocks away.
From a murder that was 6 months earlier.
This was a woman as well.
Tell a lie. 2 years earlier.
There was an incident with a woman walking with her dog. When she went for a walk, she wasn't with a dog, walking with her mum after a barbecue, Julia.
Oh, yeah.
So Julia Jacobs, she goes out after a barbecue a few months before this and a few months after, well, a couple of years after the Offerman killings. She's out with her mum. Like, they ate too much food, they're going for a walk. They're in a very safe neighbourhood, everybody knows everybody else. Her mum grabs her arm and says, look, and she thinks, she sees a man with an Alsatian, so she's like, oh, look at that dog. And she's like, no, not the dog, the creep.
Yeah.
And her mum has this like really odd reaction.
Yeah,
makes me
this
go
guy
goosey thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah, it gives me the creeps really badly. Like, she has such a, it's all the hairs on her back feel, you know, ooh.
How hairy is your back, mate?
Back of my neck, I meant. Fucking Jesus Christ. She has sort of this weird reaction. She's like, oh,
it's like an instinct.
Like an instinct. So we're going. The next day, Julie comes back from wherever she's been, comes home to find her mother's house all cordoned off, and she's screaming like, what's happened to mum? What's happened to mum? Nothing's happened to her mum.
Well, no, he did it also. She was like, that fucking creep. The guy is staring at them, sees them looking at him, and he just turns to face a tree.
Yeah, he just turns.
So they're like, what the fuck is he? And they were like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, he's weird.
So yeah, she comes home thinking.
So she comes home, everything's cordoned off, and she's like, where's my mum? And they're like, it's fine, your mum's okay, but it's it's something else that's happened. And they wouldn't tell her anything, the police. So she phones her friends who are paramedics, and they say, well, I can't tell you too much at the moment, but it's a double homicide and it's brutal.
And she was like, another one.
Yeah, and she's like, again, I can't believe
this. So yeah,
this.
because Gregory Sanchez, they shot him and it went through, he shot him and it went through the cheek. And because it didn't kill him, he then bludgeoned him to death with a garden tool, which is just fucking horrible. And then the last one that's on the rap sheet is May 8th, 1986, which is Janelle Cruz, who was bludgeoned to death with a pipe wrench.
Wow.
Fucking horrible.
Really, really
And
horrible.
this is like us, because we were just looking at like 40 rapes.
You see, the thing is as well, the killings just escalated in the brutality as well.
Yeah.
So the killing of the double homicide, that last one, the police were like, that is one of the most brutal murders that they'd attended. But as you can see, you know, no wonder at my brain's all over the place, because that's what my day. Not that I'm moaning because my life's so hard, but I'm like,
Yeah, it's
fucking heavy going, that.
it is, yeah.
It's really heavy going.
Because it's also just like reading testimony from survivors and being like, okay, what is just, this is awful, but like, what's another harrowing account of a horrible rape? And what is like, oh, this is different here's where we learn something that, you know, it's just horrible. So like, you're having to like, I feel shit that we haven't listed everyone's names. But then we also can't list everyone's names because so many women didn't come forward.
Yeah. And also, we don't know because it's an ongoing thing. There might be other stuff that might...
I mean, we do know. He's guilty.
No, but what I mean is there might be other information that comes through. They might be investigating certain things. More people might be coming forward. You don't know what's going on. You don't know.
So that was another fucking massive podcast about murder.
I hope you enjoyed your Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Hope you're not listening to this way on your Christmas
Oh, God,
dinner.
imagine
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Trying to force, even if you're vegan, trying to force down a tofurkey, as we're talking about that.
Is that what it's called? Tofurkey?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is it nice?
Yeah, it's nice,
Is it nice,
actually.
yeah?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be dog shit. It looks like a herniated bollock, but it's delicious. So if you want to send me a free sample, I'm happy to give you that pull quote tofurkey, herniated bollock.
Lovely.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
And we'll send you the 3-part very shortly. It'll be in like the first week of the new year.
Yes.
Thanks.
Bye.